Hello, friends, and welcome into NBA Now. I am Tom Downey. Alongside me, for now, is Jimmy Crowther. You survived for a little bit there.
Yeah, for a little while. We'll see what happens, though.
Well, we do have some breaking news to start off today's show, actually. Vince Carter heading back to the Atlanta Hawks after all. There was a report that he and the Hawks were too far apart. A deal wasn't all that likely. And then today, the news breaks that VC is going back to ATL for probably just one more year, and then he's going to finally call it in Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, I mean, he becomes the longest tenured NBA player ever. You know, playing. This will be his 22nd season now with the the Atlanta Hawks. It'll be interesting to see him play this final year with a team that's got a bunch of young rookies that he can hopefully kind of help mentor. A lot of wings that could definitely use his help. I love Vince Carter. I definitely wanted to see him go somewhere where I know he could win and make a push for the playoffs.
Lakers.
I just don't think this Hawks team is there yet.
Vince Carter has not been a ring chaser, though.
No, absolutely not.
And
I respect that.
He's always been you know what, I'm just going to help mentor people.
And you know what? Good for him, but as an NBA fan, I'll say I want to see him win a ring, and I guess it's just not going to happen.
It's fair. All right, let's move then to Draymond Green, who got the bag, Jimmy.
Yeah, he sure did. 4 years, $100 million, despite the fact that he's going to hit free agency this summer and actually make more than that if he wanted to. But now he doesn't have to worry about it. He gets a full 4 years, and you got a player option on that last year, which will happen in 2023. Good for Draymond Green. I almost want to say that it's a better deal for the Warriors because they don't have to overpay to keep their guy this summer when some other team would have inevitably given him a max contract.
Interesting, he got the player option, which the other guys didn't get on Golden State.
It is interesting, and I think it's the fact that he was, willing to take less
and signed early. Yeah.
And if he proves himself, we'll see what happens on that fourth year.
The numbers are not what you see from normal max guys, but to be fair, 777 is pretty damn insane when you think about it.
It's nuts. And look, that 29% from three-point last year I think it's a fluke. I think he comes back next year. He's a better three-point shooter than that, especially without Kevin Durant on the floor. Look, we saw it in the playoffs. When KD was gone and when Klay Thompson went down, Draymond was ready to step up. And I think that's going to be him all year next year. And
once he got in shape.
Exactly. Yeah, he'll live up to that contract eventually.
Warriors throwing out a lot of money over the next couple of years. Steph Curry's got 3 years left on his mega extension. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green just signed theirs, along with D'Angelo Russell. That's a lot of money to pay to your core.
It sure is. We'll see how long D'Angelo Russell is actually a member of the Warriors. I know Bob Myers likes to convince people that he's going to be there forever. Warriors fans like to think that he's going to be there for the full 4 years, but I think we all know deep down inside that D'Angelo Russell isn't in the long-term plans for the Warriors.
So with the Draymond Green contract, who is the bigger winner? Type W for the Warriors if you're eating those W's, and D for Draymond.
Never mind.
Yeah, Jimmy got it.
You don't want. Wow, I'm just all over the place now. That really
I flustered him real
threw
bad.
me for a loop. I'm gonna type W for Warriors on this one. I think not having to pay Draymond in a full max is a huge win. Obviously, 4 years, $100 million is not a little chunk of change, but it's pretty solid there for the Warriors and for the Draymond Green.
All right, guys, if you like chat sports, make sure you are subscribed, especially if you love the NBA. Get us to 150K. Jimmy, we forgot to do the awkward high five for 130.
Forgot.
No, I totally forgot about it. I wanted to do it, and I just didn't remember, so we're going to do it right now, okay?
Oh, wow.
I thought we had agreed that we were gonna go back and forth.
I did.
Fist bump and all that.
And now it's even more awkward because
you guys wanted awkward. There you go.
That was really awkward.
I'm just trying to give the people what they probably don't actually want.
No, they probably didn't want to see that or need to see that. So if we lose our watchers here now, it's because of you.
Do you know what they do want, though?
What do they want?
They want Carmelo Anthony back in the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you transition. Now, 3 different stuff to discuss here, 3 different items to go over with Carmelo Anthony from various sources. First up is Kyle Kuzma, who wants Carmelo back and says he would love to have him on the Lakers.
Yeah, it's something. Carmelo and Kuzma.
It's something.
I'm sorry. But look, Carmelo and Kuzma, they've been working out together in Los Angeles. They train together, and that's good. So he's vouching for the guy. I mean, he sees him work out every day, so I guess that means something.
The Sun Sentinel says Melo could actually make sense for Miami, and then there's the one from The Ringer who says Melo would be a great fit for the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know that you're Jimmy hater of Carmelo Anthony. What do you make of this idea?
Well, let's start with the Golden State Warriors and kind of break this one down.
Yeah.
First of all, they're hard capped for next season, meaning they cannot go over the cap at all.
Not even for vet min guys.
Not even for vet minimum. So they would have to move some money around, and then you got to ask, Is moving money around for Carmelo Anthony really worth it? Do you want him taking minutes away from anybody on this team? Is he actually going to be more productive than Alfonso McKinney at this point?
I think yes. I actually kind of like this idea, Jimmy.
You want 3 guys that have to have the ball in their hands to be good. Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, and Carmelo Anthony.
They can all just look. They can take. Look, Melo does not get to become the focal point of this offense.
He doesn't.
But who would I rather have out there, Alfonso McKinney or Carmelo Anthony? Give me Carmelo Anthony on Golden State.
I'm just not going to move money around to give Carmelo Anthony a roster spot over anybody if I'm the Golden State
that part I kind of get. But I think for Golden State, like if you're going through teams that actually make sense, I had not thought of Golden State at all, but they have nothing at the small forward spot. Like unless you believe Alfonso is going to have a breakout year. They have enough defense on the bigs between Draymond and Willie Cauley-Stein. I think the bigger problem is the guard defense is not going to be very good. But of the teams that I think do make sense, I actually kind of like Golden State. If it doesn't work, they cut him.
Okay,
And don't know that
you know what?
tried.
Sign Melo to a couple 10-day contracts, see what happens, and then go from there. Maybe it makes some sense.
All right, let's talk about then the LA Lakers side of things, because I'll be honest, I think the Warriors one made the most sense.
I do too. Okay, I'll be honest. I agree with you. Now that I'm thinking it over, and I had to say Alfonso.
I convinced
McKinney.
Jimmy.
No.
Jimmy's now a Melo fan.
He made me think about it. The Lakers, on the other hand, Kyle Kuzma, like we just said, he's the one that's kind of pushing for this idea of Melo back to the NBA, as are half the NBA fans in the world. And Kuzma gets to see him work out every day, so he knows that he can still play. The Lakers have another open roster spot, but the Lakers aren't really dying for a forward like the Golden State Warriors might be, you know?
No, I think LA's fine. Like they do have one available roster spot, but I don't think that the Lakers need to go and add. No, I know it's a big name and it's LeBron and it's the Banana Boat crew, but I think for the Lakers they need better role players. And I don't know if Carmelo's truly going to be that guy when I think he wants to be a starter. You mentioned who are you going to give Carmelo Anthony's minutes to if you don't have him on your roster? Like for the Lakers, they have plenty of other guys out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, you already got Kyle Kuzma. I feel like Kyle Kuzma, being a scoring forward and a young one at that, you don't want to take the minutes away from him to give him to
it's
a 35-year-old
little bit too similar, I think,
Carmelo Anthony.
In terms of the roles they play these days. And you got to get KCP out there. You want Danny Green on that roster. You have other guards, and with Kuzma, AD, and Boogie, and LeBron able to play down low, I don't think it's a great fit.
I don't either. I just don't. I just wouldn't give him minutes over any of these guys on the team right now.
All right, we saw this in the chat, so we threw it in here last second. Is Carmelo Anthony a Hall of Famer? Why for yes and for no?
Yes. As much as I love to play hater Jimmy on current Carmelo Anthony, I cannot hate on Denver Nugget, even for that first year in New York, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
incredible.
I think Melo as a Hall of Famer is a no-brainer.
I do too.
The
NBA Hall of Fame,
first ballot, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA Hall of Fame is not that hard to get into, first of all. And even if it were difficult to get into, Carmelo Anthony would have a really good case for getting in.
Chris says, of course he is. Clogan says yes. Lancer, Cobry, Bruce, Theft, they all say yes there. Even Hater Jimmy says yes in the end there. All right, the last team here for Carmelo Anthony, that is the Miami Heat. And the Sun Sentinels basically put out the idea of, if you had asked us earlier in the offseason, we would have said no. But now, it actually makes a little bit more sense.
And I disagree. I don't think it makes any sense for the Miami Heat whatsoever. Not just because I don't think Carmelo Anthony has a lot to contribute to the NBA anymore, but because if I'm the Miami Heat, there are a lot of wings on this team that I got to give minutes to, and Carmelo Anthony does not need to be one of those. You need to develop Justice Winslow. You need Deion Waiters to be halfway healthy and keep him healthy. Tyler Hero, you don't want to take minutes away from him. They like Derrick Jones Jr., and then Jimmy Butler's already there. Like, Carmelo Anthony doesn't fit with this team.
If they didn't have Derrick Jones Jr., would you change your mindset about Miami? Because obviously Olynyk and Leonard and even James Johnson kind of fit that bigger type of 4 or 5. Melo at this point is, I think, truly just a stretch 4. Oh my God, he's Ryan Anderson.
Yep, and they already have Kelly Olynyk, so...
I just realized that.
No, the Miami Heat do not need Carmelo whatsoever. I don't like the fit there. I especially don't like Carmelo and Jimmy Butler on the same team. All
right, so which team should sign... Yeah, that might actually be a big issue there. Good point. Which team should sign Carmelo Anthony? Let us know in the comments section. Kevin says the Pelicans... Edwards, or different Kevin. There was Kevin Abreu said Pelicans. Kevin Edwards, maybe they're related after all, says the Portland Trailblazers. Tyler says LA. Chris Jones says Mavs. Z says the Hornets.
Sure. What do you have
Might
to lose,
as well.
Charlotte? What do you have to
Might
lose?
as well. All right, keep those comments coming, folks, here live on NBA Now. Let's move to Blake Griffin and a possible trade. All right, what trade idea do you have now, Jimmy?
Okay, this was not from me. Let me specify that and say it as loud and as clear as I can.
Jimmy's trade idea.
This was not my trade idea. I saw this and I put it up here and we're going to talk about it, okay? This is an idea to send Blake Griffin to the Portland Trailblazers, which I love the fit, so I said, hey, let's discuss it and see what would actually make some sense. Now, they pitched out a trade idea for Blake Griffin, who, honestly, I mean, last year, this was an MVP-type season if he was on a little bit better of a team. Dude averaged 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He's becoming a playmaking power forward, and he can shoot the three. Yeah, exactly. And he can shoot the three at 36.2%.
His game is really developed beyond just being a freak athlete who can dunk.
Yeah, this is honestly one of the...
Zion, take notes.
Yeah, this is one of the better transitions of a player's game that I've seen in the NBA since I've been watching it. So here was the trade idea, Tom.
Okay.
Again, not my trade idea,
okay,
but the trade idea that was floated out there. Blake Griffin goes to Portland for Kent Bazemore, so obviously this would have to happen.
That just makes the money work, yeah.
Right, and it would have to happen in December. It has to happen in 2 months because Kent Bazemore can't be traded with other players.
Well, it could happen in late August because he was traded for, not signed.
I know, but you can't trade him with other players.
Oh, okay.
It's a weird deal.
Okay.
Nassir Little, who you drafted 25th overall. Zach Collins in there. That was your lottery pick just a couple years ago. And then that was all they had, plus the picks. But the money didn't work, so I was like, okay, just throw in Scalabissier. That makes the money work.
So your initial trade was illegal trade.
The initial trade that was not floated out there by me.
So you adjusted it to make it legal.
Yes.
Okay.
Bazemore, Little, Collins, first and second round picks. And then I threw in Scalabissier.
I mean, I love it for the Blazers.
Yeah, how can you not? I mean,
this squad, Dame, McCollum, Griffin, oh boy.
Western Conference Finals last year, that's pushing for the finals right there if Blake Griffin's halfway healthy.
Here's my problem with it. It takes 2 teams to make a trade, and I don't know why Detroit would ever want to do that unless Blake Griffin said, trade me right now, I want out.
The only reason,
that's not great.
I mean, the only reason the Pistons do this is if they just embrace the tank. And they're like, hey, we want Zach Collins and Nassir Little. We'll try to develop them, and we'll take your picks. That's literally the only reason the Blazers would do this.
So who says no? Type P for the Pistons and B for the Blazers. I think the Pistons say no.
I think the Pistons say no as well.
It was a fun effort, guys, but...
We tried.
I don't think in the end they make enough sense because I don't think they have the assets for a Griffin caliber player.
What they could do is you turn on forced trades on NBA 2K,
there you go.
and all of a sudden things start to work out for the Pistons.
Here's how you guys can get NBA 2K from our friends over at MyBookie. Just one quick qualifying note: if you do force trades in your franchise mode, you're lame. Like, how dare? Unless you're setting up draft picks to get them correct. Because I used to do that on the old ones because they didn't have, like, the updates and whatnot. Anyway, chatsports.com/NBA now. Use promo code CHATNBA. Sign up and deposit. Then place your first bet. And email us promo@chatsports.com. We'll get you guys hooked up with NBA 2K. Still does not come out for almost a month exactly. But it comes out in September. If you're going to get it, might as well do it here. Chatsports.com/NBA now, promo code CHATNBA. Then email us promo@chatsports.com. Speaking of the return and the opening for the NBA, opening night, a couple of games you wanted to mention here, Jimmy. Lakers and the Clippers.
I am hyped.
Do they need to make this opening night, though? Do they need to do it?
No, because look, they already did. They already have Christmas night as well, which if you haven't watched that video yet, we announced all the Christmas Day games. Go watch it on our channel. But yeah, this is opening night. Lakers versus Clippers, October 22nd. One of the 2 games that's going to happen, and I'm excited, man.
That'll be a fun matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I guess this is ensuring that they will find a way to bring it up. You know, like people are going to watch this one.
Oh, absolutely.
In October. Now, Lakers, meanwhile, I think they'll be. I'm actually very curious what the actual starting lineup will look like for the Lakers in this game because they've got a whole bunch of different options. Like maybe they start LeBron James at point guard and go with 2 guards. Maybe they try and get DeMarcus Cousins. They have a lot of different options in the end there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly if Anthony Davis starts at the center position. Maybe it's Boogie at that point. Maybe they feel comfortable enough with him and him healthy enough. But I think the starting five with the Clippers, on the other hand, is pretty set in stone. People may disagree with me about this, but I like Kawhi and PG down there at 2 forwards, and then Pat Bev and Landry Shamet.
Paul George has played plenty of the 4.
Yeah. I think you have to. I think you got to put him in there.
I mean, maybe you worry a bit about the size. Now, maybe you try and do some different lineups to match up with the Lakers end up going big. But who do you guys have in opening night only? Not for the playoffs, not for the championship, just first game of the year. L for the Lakers and C for the Clippers. Home court advantage doesn't really matter here.
Doesn't matter at all. I'm taking the Clippers because they've got the more established team. I mean, they've already got a bunch of guys that have already played together, and they just add in 2 superstars. So I'm going to go Clippers on this one.
All right, also on opening night, this one, I'll be honest, doesn't intrigue me as much because it is the Raptors without Kawhi, but the New York Pelicans and Zion.
The New Orleans Pelicans, not the New York Pelicans.
I meant to say new look. I don't know if I just went new look.
There's a lot of
forgot the L. Things. Not sure there.
But yeah, I mean,
yes.
Let's be honest. This Raptors team is not as exciting. I'm interested to watch Pascal Siakam versus Zion, though.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that's at least intriguing.
All right, so type N if you guys have New Orleans in this one, and T for Toronto. Who you got?
I'm going to take Toronto. I think they'll have something to prove on opening night.
Give me the Pelicans.
All right.
Zion shows up, and he's in shape, and he has a big opening night. And everyone freaks out about how good Zion already is.
Oh, yeah, you know they will.
I see a pretty good split there. I know Justin's pounding the ends there. Plenty of different votes coming in there from Jamie and Moises and Media Center Man. Weird name, but okay. All right, other notable games, Jimmy, what do we have here?
Look, November 14th, Mavs at Knicks. That's the first game that KP returns to Madison Square Garden. He's going to get booed right out of the stadium. And then November 27th, Lakers at Pelicans. That's AD's first game back to New Orleans.
He'll probably get booed too.
Another guy that's going to get booed right out of the, what is it, the Smoothie King Arena? That's what weird.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
And then also
the creepy mascot.
The same night, Kyrie goes back to Boston.
Oh, man.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
Then you've got the return of Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi goes to the Raptors on December 11th. And then we get into January, so now we're in 2020, which is just wild. It's Russell Westbrook going back to Oklahoma City. That will be the one guy that gets cheered for louder than if he ever did when he stayed with Oklahoma City. He's going to get absolutely, people there love him. And then Clippers at Thunder. I'm interested to see how they receive Paul George. I don't know if they're going to boo him or cheer for him. I'm not really sure how they feel about him.
All right, so which NBA game are you guys most excited for? Let us know in the comments. And, of course, these are regular season games only.
Regular season games only. I'm going Mavs and Knicks. I'm excited to see KP go back to MSG.
What if I told you that I don't care that much about the NBA regular season? Because it's kind of meaningless.
Do we need to boot you off the show and let me do this solo?
Well, it is, but it is like a little bit not that important. It's a bit of a grind.
It's definitely not as important. I will say that, but it's still exciting. I mean, everybody wants the opening season back. This is what the schedule's all about. If you guys don't know, the regular schedule is supposed to come out August 9th, the 2nd. The second we get it, we'll put out any kind of information we can to you guys on our Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere you follow Ched Sports, we'll get it to you guys.